My name is Haley Haru, and I decided to do my speech on the effectiveness of masks. So, the coronavirus has infected over 7 million people in less than a year. This virus has spread at an extremely high rate, making it a global pandemic. Extreme measures such as quarantine, closing schools, and shutting down businesses, and the most controversial one, wearing masks, have been taken to try to stop the spread of the virus. The severity of the virus has affected people worldwide. The extreme measures that have been taken in attempt to stop the virus prove how serious this pandemic is. Many people are truly unaware of how extreme the virus is, and everyone should educate themselves to try to stop the spread. Being educated will truly help stop the spread and prevent people who are very susceptible to the virus from dying. I have known a couple of people who have been diagnosed with COVID-19, and it truly was a very scary experience. Every day I wondered if they would be okay, and in the end they were, but that's not the case for everybody. Talk about how masks have stopped the spread of the virus. Let's examine the research behind the effectiveness of the mask. Some research has actually shown that masks help protect other people rather than the person wearing the mask. This is a concern that many people have with the effectiveness of masks. I have found some research to show how masks may not work. The article, The Science of Psychology Behind Masking to Prevent the Spread of COVID-19, written by Bridget Balch on July 13, 2020, states a mask likely does not directly prevent the wearer from contracting the virus because any gaps between the mask and the person's face leave room for virus particles to seep through. Balch states that the masks protect the people around the person wearing the mask, but not necessarily the person wearing the mask themselves. The gaps in the mask allow for some particles to get into the person's breath. A research article called Wearing a Mask, Myths and Facts by the University of Maryland, it states that even the small barrier that a cloth mask creates will help prevent the virus from spreading. The mask is very controversial and many people have different opinions on them. You might be thinking, why even wear the mask if there's a chance that it is not effective? But there are statistics to show how the masks have helped. There's a strong reason that shows how masks have helped stop the spread. A recent study has shown the effectiveness of wearing masks through an experiment. Nina Ball wrote an article published on June 26, 2020, called Still Confused About Masks. Here's the science behind how face masks prevent the coronavirus. In her article, she talked about a group of scientists who conducted an experiment where they had a person hold a cloth up to their face when talking to another person. They discovered that the hundreds of droplets that were released from a person's mouth when talking were nearly all blocked by the cloth. Another article published by the CDC called CDC Calls on Americans to Wear Masks to Prevent COVID-19 Spread. They talk about another case that shows the effectiveness of masks. A hairstylist who works in a hair salon in Missouri was diagnosed with the coronavirus, but was unaware that she had it for a few days. She kept going to work like normal. All of her customers wore masks, and so did she. When all her customers got tested, they all came back negative. The masks stopped the spread of the particles in these two examples. The masks were able to prevent some of the spread of the particles despite what the research against the masks showed that I talked about before. People argue that if the masks aren't always effective, then why should we wear them? An article written by Diana Kwan called How Face Masks Can Help Prevent the Spread of COVID-19, she talks about the different kinds of face masks that can be worn. Many people say cloth face masks are not effective. In the article, Kwan states that medical grade masks such as N95 or surgical masks are much more effective than cloth masks. But she also says that wearing a mask, even if it is cloth, is still helpful. Even though the mask is not 100% effective, it still lessens the chance of the virus spreading. In conclusion, the coronavirus is a very serious problem and it needs to be taken seriously. All the research that tries to argue against masks, they have proven to be very helpful in preventing the spread of the virus. Make a difference and wear a mask. By wearing one, you are protecting yourself and the people around you.